Happy New Year from GrayPrimer. My name is Nick, I'm your host. This is a show that's mostly about miniatures. On this episode, I'm continuing my WarCry weekend with the Corvus Cabal. What better way to celebrate the new year than with a bunch of psychopaths who like to dress up as crows and hit each other? Let's get stuck into it and see what we got. Here we are with the Corvus Cabal. Let's have a look at this little piece of artwork up in the corner that is just absolutely incredible. Such a cool painting there. Absolutely love that. It fits really well into the overall look of the WarCry branding and straight into that. That's so neat. Beautifully painted miniatures here on the front. Is that someone's head with a crow on it? These dudes don't mess around. Lots of speed, lots of feathers. It's almost like they're all like, if we run fast enough, we can fly. We're sure of it. Oh, wow, look at the bird feet. Okay, so it's like stilts, but with bird claws in the bottom, and then the wings and the headpiece, and they go all in, right? So what do we got here? A couple of Cabalists. What's this guy? Shrike Talon. Spire Stalkers. Shadow Piercers. Oh, that's the one with the bird in the head. Hamlet ain't got nothing on that guy. More Spire Stalkers and Cabalists. And yeah, let's have a look. Oh, nice little logo there as well. And I like these WarCry boxes. It's been ages since they did a WarCry set. But they come in these trays and they have this branding around them. Sort of red band that runs around the outside of it. It's a little thing, but I just like it. I think it adds that element of tying it into the branding of WarCry. We have one larger base and 32s and 25s there as well, so that's interesting. Looks like 3 different sizes. Sprues. Cards and the like, and then instructions. Have a look at the instructions first. Pretty dark looking. I guess they're pretty dark looking dudes. Got 25, 28. Oh, I thought those were 32s. And 40s. Okay, and these are all 1-to-1 scale. So you can quickly check which one you need. And then we have the breakdown into the various builds like Shadow Piercer and Shrike Talon. That was the huge one, wasn't it? On the stilts, yeah. They kind of look a little goofy, but I'm going to see if I can play around with that a little bit to make it look slightly less awkward. Spire Stalkers there, and then we should be into the Cabalists as well with the various loadouts for like spears and other spiky things. Oh, I like that mini. Didn't see that on the outside, the Cabalist with the familiar. Oh, I really like that one. Okay, hopefully I can build at least one of those. And a decent little painting sort of guide on the back. Let's have a quick look at these cards. So I do like the branding that goes across them. In the back, it's all the different units that are supplied. There's that nice Cabalist with the familiar. Yeah, I really like that. And then all the different ones. The fighter types from the Corvus Cabal. And then all of their various abilities on the back there. And let me see when this was from. So 2019. So that was, no, not last year. 2 years ago now. Happy New Year. I can't believe I goofed it up the first chance I got to say 2021, but whatever. But yeah, so this is from 2 years ago, 2019. And looking pretty nice. So tons of feathery goodness on this thing. Lots of very fragile elements. Is that really connected just by that tiny piece there? Oh, that has given me no small amount of stress just looking at that. I do not want to damage this taking it off the sprue. Some of these face masks as well are pretty creepy. And I love the whole aesthetic of this warband. I think they're going to be really exciting once they're put together and painted. But I will be right back with the fully built miniatures. And here they are, the Corvus Cabal. Some really intricately detailed miniatures, some fantastically dynamic poses, some pain points while building them. They were not the most friendly things to build. And certainly some of the first miniatures I got to within the instruction manual never really felt that they connected together comfortably. It always felt like there was a little bit of wiggle room or that perhaps it just wasn't sort of locking together with that sort of clean feel that you get with a lot of miniatures. And as a result, there were a few little gaps. The thing is, these are so fragile, they're so thin, that you just don't want to sort of squeeze them together too tight. You don't want to play around with it too much because parts will snap off. It's an inevitability if you're too heavy-handed with them. Yeah, just not the most comfortable of building experiences, but the actual constructed miniatures at the end are utterly glorious. Like, this thing is definitely the marquee one of the piece, with these spread out wings. You can see him sort of holding onto them there with his hands, and is just covered in details. The way his feet are attached to these bird-like stilts, and everything about this just screams quality. And I think this will paint up beautifully. What a great place to start with a Corvus Cabal. Things just keep getting better with this one as well. I'm still debating with this one whether the character is looking up at the severed head that's being cradled in the hand, or looking up at the bird perched on top of it. It just has got a little bit of interesting narrative to it, and you just wonder what's going on there. I really like that. Maybe this person is feeding the crow? Who knows? Who knows with these creatures, actually? That's probably a likely scenario. But a beautifully sculpted miniature. This is the one with the little throwing darts, and you can see the arm is back and primed, ready to go. You've got spare darts, I think, hooked around the waistband. And this was one of the ones that kind of was a little wonky going together, especially the quiver. It was really hard to tell where that was supposed to settle in. But I think it ended up okay. Actually, it ended up great. Cracker looking mini. This next one has some really nice details. This plumage around the neck here is connected to this tiny little piece of metal, which is actually a piercing. And you can actually see the flesh here in the chest being plucked up by the piercing, being pulled back as they run around. I guess it puts more load onto it or something, but pretty grisly stuff. Some nice symbols of chaos here. And nice. Again, bit of narrative to this. I love that it's in full sprint. The quite minimal connection point from a distance there to the base is actually pretty good, because the heel here, while the foot is kind of raised, the heel is attached to this sort of clod of dirt, which gives you a really solid glue point. And then when you get this base, you wouldn't even see the sort of separation there. Very pleased with that one, especially that piercing. That's just nuts. And you'll see the piercing here again on this one, on the chest. And again, these great bits of feathers, all these sort of plumage that's clearly something they want to live with, not something they want to be able to take off too easily. And the great mask, kraken looking weapons, and again, some chaotic iconography and symbols there. This next one, again, some real great sort of dynamic posing here, very superhero kind of looking pose. It's got this piece of some scenery or something, some old buildings sticking up out of the dirt that it's standing on. But it was here that I really struggled to get this to sort of settle into the frame. Just the head and the arm piece, it just wouldn't connect cleanly. So I'll have to do a little bit of tidy up on that one. But apart from that, a really, really nicely sculpted miniature. Just a shame that the building of that one was not so good. Another mini in full flight here, and with a very small contact point. Again, Games Workshop seem to have learned, and they've created an increased sort of contact point by this little sculpted on piece of dirt here. And it just makes it so much easier to get this stuck to the base. You don't have to pin it. Plenty of contact there for plastic cement. And yeah, really smart design. Symbols of chaos, these beautiful sort of feathered cords here. Running across the battlefield, got his Wolverine claws out. Absolutely love the pose on this. The dart sort of primed and ready to throw. The spear tucked behind the body as they run. And some beautiful details. I love the sort of the flowing, I think it's hair, but I'm not really sure with these. It could be artificial or something, but anyway, it looks great, gives a great sense of movement and motion, and I think this is a really beautifully sculpted one. And then the last one here, which is another one of my favorites from this set. I seem to have a lot of favorites in this set. I just didn't enjoy building it. I really enjoy looking at them now, though. I mean, look at this with the raven or whatever that bird is up on the glove. The pose is very sort of reminiscent of like a martial artist. It's got this half crouched kind of look to it. This kneeling pose. This weapon looks really dangerous. The bird up on the hand, I absolutely love this. The little feather on a keychain or something hanging off the belt. And again, this sort of the plumage around the back of the head there, these great sort of bird masks. And I think this is a really interesting, really nicely sculpted mini. Each one of these feels unique. Each one of them feels beautifully sculpted. For sure, the build on them was a bit of a pain, but they're cleverly designed so that they stick well to the base, even though they look like they're going to snap off at any moment. They're pretty well on there. And visually, they're really dramatic and everything. Yeah, can't recommend them highly enough for the visual impact. I think you'll have some fun painting these as well, getting that plumage all done. And yeah, that's Corvus Cabal, a great kit to start off the new year, not without its flaws, but actually really beautiful looking once built. And continuing on this WarCry weekend to celebrate the turn of the new year, Happy New Year by the way, with the Chimera tomorrow. It's a much bigger kit than the Corvus Cabal, but it has interestingly got a lot less parts. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. Hopefully it's a simpler build as well. But that is tomorrow. For now, please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying this WarCry content. And please take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.